I want to talk about Landfall in Boros. Dragon Shield has their Landfall series sleeves, and these Arid Mesa sleeves are gorgeous. But Boros doesn't usually play Landfall, so how could we put a Landfall deck into these sleeves? Well, the first commander that we're going to use is a favorite of mine, and yes, it is a partner commander. Love them or hate them, they're very good. And it is Togo Weaponsmith. Togo is a goblin that basically says when a land comes into play, you're going to make a rock token. And a rock is an equipment that you can stick on a creature and then have the creature tap, sack the rock, and deal 2 damage to any target. You're basically giving creatures that you have rocks to throw at other targets out there. The flavor with this card. So we have Togo. Who should we partner it with? Let's use Akiri Lineslinger. And Akiri wants tons of artifacts in the battlefield so that she can be a very powerful attacker. Now, when it comes to our primary landfall engine in the deck, what should we be looking for? I've played a deck like this before. I actually have a Togo deck in Rakdos, and I use Keskit as the partner commander, where I can like sacrifice the rocks and get card advantage. And one of the strategies that has propped that deck up is running an abundance of fetch lands, or any land that you can sack and get another land out of your deck, and then Crucible of Worlds. That way, every single turn you can be getting 2 landfall triggers, 1 from the fetch land, 1 from the land that it gets, and on your next turn you can play it back from the graveyard using your Crucible of Worlds. We'll also run some classic staples like Sad Robot and Burnished Heart, but white has a ton of land ramp as well. The only thing to be cautious is that white ramp is usually a catch-up mechanic, usually checking to see if an opponent has more lands in play than you, and if they do, then the card doesn't really do anything. So we want to use these sparingly. But cards like Deep Gnome Terramancer, Weather Wayfarer, and Claim Jumper can be really incredible in a deck like this. Now we'll want a bunch of landfall triggers in here as well, so you know we're going to have Felidar Retreat in the list to make 2/2 cat tokens and buff our entire board. And we should probably have Retreat to Emeria in here as well, just to get more tokens and get some buffs on the turns that you need them. Now let's think about effect multipliers. One of the best cards in the list is probably going to be Zell, because it lets you play another land every single turn. And that effect is pretty rare in mono red, and you don't really even see it anywhere in white. You also have things like Walking Atlas, which can just put a land into play from your hand. And then Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, is going to be doubling all of our ETB effects, even if it stops your opponents and makes them a little salty. For finishers, we can slowly burn our opponents down with Tunneling Geopede and other similar effects, but with all the artifacts we're making, we can also include burn effects like Reckless Fireweaver in this deck too. With Akiri getting a buff from artifacts, we're also going to want some powerful equipment on her as well. Sword of the Animus, which is a classic ramp staple, and Bitterthorn, which is another attack trigger, put a land into play card. And keeping in line with that combat theme, we could put Morag Fury of Akum in the deck as well to get some extra combats. For other top-end finishers, one of my favorite things to do in a deck like this is to use Inspiring Statuary to give my spells improvise, so you can tap all those rocks you've made to cast spells. Using this with something like Nahiri's Lithoforming or Indomitable Creativity is just massive, and chances are you may win the game right there. So what cards am I missing? What would you include in a deck like this, and is this the type of deck that you would like to play?